Hi, it's Rodney, and I'm coming to you from Whole Body Wellness Concepts. That's our sauna company. Today we're going to talk about one simple thing. We're going to talk about why no sweat. That's the title of our book, No Sweat, which will be coming out later this year. And we'll explain in detail in the book, but in the meantime, we want to talk to you about why we have this style of sauna. Now, I'm sitting in our Ultimate Standard Edition, and we also have, and if you already know us, the Recline Edition that has a seat that actually reclines. Both of them therapeutically beautiful. One is just, it costs slightly more than the other, a little bit more robust, the Recline, but other than that, therapeutically identical. So let me move into the subject we want to talk about. I'm going to talk about it by starting back in history, and I'm going to talk about one thing in particular, and that is communication. Look how easily I'm communicating with you today. That wasn't always the case. Way back in history, people created systems to communicate. They would use drums in the jungle to communicate, and they had a series of drum beats that people, miles and miles and miles away could hear. Obviously, there's something that everybody knows, that's smoke signals. The idea of having to travel miles and miles just to speak with somebody reminds me of the runner from the battlefield in Marathon running to Athens to report to Athens how the battle was going, hence modern day marathon. But he had to go ostensibly 26.2 miles back to Athens to be able to deliver that message, where now I can communicate with people from thousands of miles away, literally on the other side of the world in seconds. The advent of the telegraph in Europe that came to the United States, the advent of Morse code, then Alexander Graham Bell and the telephone. And we had telephones in our home. Some of you will remember party lines where you would get on and somebody would be on the phone. You could hear them speaking, go, "Oh, hey, Mabel, when you're done, let me know. I need to make a phone call." That was a party line. I'm not going to go into details of where party lines are, but and then everybody had their own phone number. You were independent of the party line, but you were still restricted by the cord of the telephone. Then came wireless phones, and then came the very first cell phones. You remember those big things that looked like battlefield walkie-talkies? And people literally carried their phone around in a briefcase. Then cell phone technology got better and better and better, to the point where they got super small. And then as technology moved forward, they got bigger again, because those, and again, I'm not going to go through every iteration, but those phones, those original cell phones, turned into computers in your hand that are literally a watch, a computer, a phone, a navigation system. There's literally almost nothing your smartphone can't do for you. The reason I'm telling you all this is because, for thousands of years, there have been civilizations that have created saunas. The one that most people know are the Finnish, who came up with the original enclosed, with the rocks, with the hot water, and that is the one we know. But we also know Native Americans did hot boxes. Places down in South America would build huts around not volcanic activity, but hot springs and so forth, to create a hot house. So we know saunas have been around for a long time. 50 years ago or so, there was a Japanese inventor came up with the technology of infrared. And 40 years ago, a gentleman named Mr. Lee from South Korea brought the first infrared technology to the United States. And in doing so, all the saunas, all the infrared saunas that are in the US now are simply knockoffs of the original that Mr. Lee brought. Now his company does most of the big R&D research and development for saunas, and so year after year after year they have improved and improved and improved. About 12 years ago, Mr. Lee said, why are we sitting in a big box when we don't necessarily have to? And he understood something instinctively that we know for a fact now, and that is two major points. One, because infrared is systemic, because our blood is flowing through our body, because the infrared is treating us at a cellular level within the blood, we know that that blood is flowing through our system. We do not have to be completely enclosed within a sauna, number one. Number two, and we believe this for a long time now, and just recently we've gotten proof, and that is that you do not need to sweat to detox the body. Now we know, and you know if you've watched our other videos, that detoxification is only one part of why one would sit in an infrared sauna. Granted, it's an important part, but it's not. It's one of 6 major reasons why someone would sit in an infrared sauna. Again, you do not have to sweat to detoxify. As a matter of fact, this article that was written and published in National Geographic did a study of measuring the toxins in sweat from sitting in a traditional sauna and sitting in an infrared sauna, and the results came back to there was 0.02% of the sweat had any measurable toxins in the sweat, whereas measuring the toxins in the urine or the waste product of the person found that most of those toxins were in the waste of the person. And that is something that we've long known, but mainstream MDs finally did a study that showed it definitively, and that's why we love this sauna. That's why we push this sauna. Push, I guess that may be the wrong word, but that's why we believe so heartily in this sauna. One more thing, and this really goes unnoticed in the world of infrared, and that is Dr. Pollack's The Fourth Phase of Water. Extremely important, because and I encourage everybody to read his research on the fourth phase of water, but essentially what it does is it changes the molecular structure of the water in our body by exposing it to infrared. That binds heavy metals, and now even beyond the blood-brain barrier, and binds heavy metals that are in the brain, and now we can pull those heavy metals out of the body, whereas we know no other way to be able to do that effectively. There's chelating, there's any number of different ways, but that, and we've talked about in our other videos, we've talked about the toxins within the subcutaneous layer. So look at our video on detoxification if you want to know more about that, because I'm not going to go into it again. But That is no idea how important that is. No idea how important that is. 90% or 90% of when they do autopsies on people who die of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, they find that they have 20 to 30 times more heavy metals in their brain than the average person. We want zero. We want zero heavy metals in toxins in the body. And by being able to sit here comfortably for as long as you want, because the longer you sit here, the more those 6 things are going to benefit you. We're gonna continue this. Bonnie, my business partner, is going to come in. She's going to speak on the same subject, and then I'll throw in a conclusion. And I'm just happy you're watching this, because when there is a paradigm shift in technology, I think everybody needs to know it. This particular sauna is the future of infrared saunas, technology-wise, and eventually 80% of the people in this country are going to have these in their home. Anyway, I'll be back.
Hi, I'm Bonnie. I'm the founder and visionary of Whole Body Wellness Concepts, and you just heard from my business partner, Rodney. I want to share a little bit about how this whole thing started. I was introduced to infrared because my husband had cancer. They gave him 2 weeks to live, and we fought because I knew we could do something, but all we knew was the traditional chemo, radiation, and then a stem cell transplant. Horrible. But he made it through those, but 3 years later the cancer came back. And at that point they said, bye-bye, you've had your lifetime max of chemo radiation, and they sent him home to die. And I said, oh, we are not done. And I put him in infrared, and 3 months later his 3/4-inch tumor was gone. That opened my eyes, and I started going, what the heck is infrared? So I opened a wellness center and had the large infrared sauna there. Well, the company that produces the HealthMate saunas came to me and said, we want you to sell ours, because I was selling someone else's. And they were just down the street from me. So I said, let me come and talk to you. So I went over there, and as I was touring the warehouse, I saw in the corner this box, and I said, what the heck is that? Because it's very odd looking for a sauna. And they said that was created for the Korean market, because there's a sect that won't put their heart or their brain in heat. And the minute they said it, I just knew. I just said, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. And I said, can I sell that in the United States? And they said, no, we've tried, can't be done. And I said, that's mine, I want it. I took it home, and for 6 months I sat in here. And the healing was off the charts. I was blown away. I had severe back problems. My back is still messed up, but after 2 months of sitting in this, I have had no pain now for 6 years. Not because my back is fixed, but because I have no inflammation in it. So I have no pain. It's amazing to be out of that pain. I had digestive issues. They left in 6 months. And at that point, I just went, oh, I need to put this in my wellness center. I didn't before because I didn't really understand it. I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't know if it would work, but it worked on me so well. Over the first year that I had it, my hot flashes went away because it balanced my hormones. My insomnia left because I was able to go into that healing rest state, and we'll talk more about that. I had a torn rotator cuff, no surgery, no pain because of this, which that one was like amazing. I had fibromyalgia for 20 years. And the symptoms left after 1 year. So I really got my life back. And that's why my journey to introduce this to you and to everyone has been a passion for me, because I want you to feel that relief like I have. So the first thing I did was introduce it into our wellness center. What we did was put people in the big one, and we put people in these. And what we found was the people in these were getting healed twice as fast and on a deeper level than the people in the big saunas. They're both great, but why were we getting these results with this particular model? Couldn't figure it out, so we started digging into it. Found two major things. One, the length of time. The longer you're exposed to the infrared, the greater the health benefits. So we were able to keep them in longer. I average about 2 hours a day. We recommend minimum 15 minutes every day, no maximum. So my body likes 2 hours. I put my laptop up here, I do my work. It's a chair. It's easy. Watch TV, read a book, anything you do sitting, here's your new chair. So in the Wellness Center, we would put them in for longer periods of time. Helped tremendously. Then the second thing we found was fascinating. Our bodies have two modes to them. They have the sympathetic, which is your fight or flight, and you have the parasympathetic, which is your rest, relaxation, healing, digestion, and you can only be in one or the other. You can't be in both at the same time. So most of us live, of course, in that fight or flight. But when you get in here, your body automatically goes into that parasympathetic, that healing rest mode. And if we make sure you do not sweat, you stay in that healing mode. If you start sweating, you automatically go right back into that fight or flight mode. So when we didn't use the sweat, the people were staying in the healing mode, which is what your body will do. And now their bodies were restoring and realizing how to go into that mode. They were sleeping better. Everything worked better on a greater scale because that is the mode you heal in, that parasympathetic. With that, it was a life changer. We decided that this was the only infrared sauna we wanted to promote. And at that point, we closed the Wellness Center, and we've been on the road for 6 years now. I was introduced to these 8 years ago. But we've been on the road 6 years, sharing with everyone around the United States the benefits of these, and the reports back have been just so amazing. You'll see a number of them on our website. Now we could, sell the big saunas, but we believe in these because we've seen the results. We've seen what they've done. The latest thing that we have found was a study on detox that one of our doctors did. Because detoxing is a large factor in the United States, really around the world. Our water is not good, our air is not good, our food has no nutrients. You know. We all need to detox on a daily basis. So we have a doctor in New Mexico that has these in his clinic and had some patients with high, off-the-charts levels of uranium, because New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada, that whole area has a lot of toxic waste from the nuclear testing that was done. It'll be there for years. He had these patients that had gone every place else, all the natural places, all the Western medical places, and everyone said, you cannot get uranium out. It's a heavy metal that will not come out the skin because the pores are small. So no one else had a way to do it. And so Dr. Schwartz called us and said, what do you think? Can we do it? We said, we think so. Because of what we've seen in the past, I think we can do it. So he did a study. We created a protocol for him. The patients came into his office. They didn't have one in their home yet. They came into the office 4 times a week. He put them in for an hour each time at the lower temperatures. So 120 was what we suggested he put them at. The key, no sweating. Because remember, we want them to stay in that healing parasympathetic mode. So we had to make sure that they did not sweat. 1 hour, 4 times a week. At the end of 3 months, their uranium levels went down by more than half. It was unprecedented. They went down into that normal range. We want it to go to 0, so they're continuing to sit in it. But that was groundbreaking, that we could take uranium out that easily. All they did was sit for 1 hour, 4 times a week. That's it, no sweat. And so the power of the no sweat, the whole thing of no sweat, what we do here, why would it detox like that? Because what we're doing is raising the core body temperature only, giving you a healthy fever on the inside, not the outside. If we can raise the core without you feeling it on the outside, you don't even realize it's being raised, but your brain knows it. So raising the core on the inside triggers the brain to release the toxins out of the lymphatic system into the bloodstream and out through elimination, urine and feces. And so as we do that, now we have the proof. It does do that on a spectacular level. So that's why we're so passionate about these, why we know that no sweat works. It works. And we're so excited to share that with you. Thanks.
Just want to kind of finish this video with a call to action. And that is a sales term for asking you to buy something. Sure, it's our business. That's what we do. But we do it because we believe in it. We could sell the large saunas. We can make twice as much money per sauna and sell twice as many saunas. We decided to make 1/4 of that amount of money because we believe in this product. So well, we know infrared is right for everybody, but if you believe that it is right for you, go to our website, pisauna.com. That's personalinfraredsauna.com, pisauna.com. Look on our website. Reach out to a doctor if you're near one and you'd like to sit in it. If you'd like to call us and ask us any questions, our phone number's right there. We're happy to talk to you for as long as you would like to speak with us. And of all the tools in your arsenal for staying well, for using this as a preventative tool or getting you back to prime health, there really is nothing better. Watch our other 6 videos that talk about what infrared does. Take the time to do your due diligence. Realize that you're sitting in a virtually 0 EMF machine, and if you don't know what EMF stands for, that'd be good research for you, electromagnetic frequencies. And go get yourself a sauna, preferably one of these, because it is the paradigm shift in sauna technology, and you'll be ahead of the curve, I promise you. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you somewhere on the road.